Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do a little vlog about what's going on in my life. I think many of you guys know that I used to live in another city in Austin, and I moved to Houston, back to my hometown in the beginning of this year 2015, and I moved in with my boyfriend, which is now my husband, because according to a Texas law, if you have lived with your boyfriend for 6 months or more, you're living common law marriage. And so we've been living together for already 6 months, and well, 7 months already, and it's been pretty good. The transition from working full-time and going to school full-time to just staying at home, taking care of cats and cleaning the house, it's been pretty interesting. But I think I'm just ready to go back to the workforce. I haven't really applied for a job. I have my accounting degree, and it seems like I went to school to get an accounting degree, and I'm not even specializing in accounting. I'm just staying at home, so it's kind of frustrating sometimes because I'm still paying my student loan back. So most of the time that I've been doing is just staying home, eating, watching YouTube videos, get on Facebook, cleaning the house, and cook dinner for the hubby. But this coming Monday, I'm gonna start working next to my husband, so he's gonna be my boss, and it's gonna be an interesting experience. I never imagined that he was going to be my boss or my manager, and it's gonna tell me what I have to do, but it's gonna be a really interesting experience. I'm not sure if you guys have worked next with your partner. Can you guys tell me if that's a good thing to do or not? So hopefully my boyfriend doesn't get really angry at me, or my husband doesn't get really angry if I do a mistake at work, which I don't think I will make any mistakes, because I have a degree in accounting and I try to do the best job out there. So I'm gonna start working with him. He's gonna be training me, doing office work, but at the same time we're trying to have a baby. We've been trying to have baby since May, and it's already been 3 months and no luck yet. So I never taken any birth control pills. I think I only took birth control pills for 30 days, and then afterwards I stopped because I wasn't patient and I couldn't keep going. Like I just couldn't keep track of it, so I stopped. And that was the only time that I took birth control pills, only 30 days, and that was back in 2013, I believe. But now we're trying to have a baby, and it seems that it's taking us longer than we thought it was gonna be. We thought that maybe we just didn't use unprotected sex, that maybe we were gonna have a baby like fast or show that we were pregnant already, but it hasn't happened at all. My husband says that if I keep worrying about it, that I'm never gonna get pregnant. So I'm trying to not focus on that. And I used to take a pregnancy test every week, but now it's just I try to limit the times that I take my pregnancy test, because it's really expensive, and every single time I do a pregnancy test I always end up disappointed because it says that I'm not pregnant. And I wonder if those tests are really working. I always do get the Clear Blue pregnancy test. I think that's the name of it. But we're trying hard and we're not really getting pregnant. I don't know if you guys have like an advice of something to do in order to get pregnant. I know some people, or like Hispanic people, they kind of like going to like massage therapists to massage your stomach to put together your, how do you say it, where the baby is. I don't know, like matriz. I don't know how you say that in English, the matriz. But my mother-in-law, she told me that she can take me to a lady to massage my stomach, and I just feel kind of weird doing that because I don't believe in those things. But she said that she took another lady the other the other day, and she ended up being pregnant. She got pregnant. So I don't know, that's a debate that I'm still thinking about. I'm not sure if I should like go with her, or should I just wait, or maybe I should have more sex and then until I have another, like a baby. Maybe it's not time for me to have a child. I recently saw a video of Laura Exo Belleza. I think her new screen name is Sparkle on Forever, and she's announced that she was pregnant, and I felt really happy for her because even though she wasn't trying to get pregnant, maybe, I don't know if she was really actually trying to get pregnant, she ended up finding out that she's pregnant and how she's experiencing all this, nauseous and things like that, and I'm just like waiting here, like hopefully I get pregnant too. We're thinking of maybe trying to get pregnant and have the baby next year, because we still had to get health insurance. We didn't subscribe to that Obamacare because supposedly we make a lot of money, which we don't. But definitely next year we're gonna try to get health insurance and trying to sort that out, so that way if we do have a baby, we're covered. So we're just here trying to make it happen, and it hasn't happened at all. It's kind of stressful sometimes, and I don't know, I wasn't really trying to have a baby in the beginning of the year, but then I realized that I'm gonna be 29 next year, and I believe that the longer you wait to have a baby, there's a higher chance for your baby not to form well, I think, and there's a higher risk in your pregnancy. So we're really trying hard. Well, not hard because I can't tell you that we have sex every day, because it's hard sometimes to have sex every day, but we're just trying to make sure that, I don't know, every single time we have sex, that try to do it right, and hopefully the sperm swims inside of me like all the way to the egg. I'm sorry if I say words like straightforward, but that's just the way it is, so right now I'm just, after 7 months of being here in Houston, where I'm still staying at home, I'm not working. I'm working part-time with the attorney from Austin. He sends me work via email and I do it, and then I send it back to them. But now I'm gonna start, like I said, the new position with my husband, and he's gonna be my boss, and he's gonna tell me what to do. Hopefully that works well and doesn't end up in a split up, which I don't think that's gonna happen, but you never know. And we're trying to have a baby too, so it's gonna be really interesting. I can't wait to share with you guys if I do end up getting pregnant after all, and let you guys know what is my experience working close to my husband. Yeah, so that's pretty much that has been happening around here. Nothing major. I haven't done a lot of hauls because the same thing, I'm not working full-time, so I had to limit my spending because I'm paying off my student loan. I have a big student loan because I went to study out of the city, and so I had to get more money for the apartment in Austin. But I'm so happy that that's over and I don't have to worry about going to school anymore. And what else? Oh yes, and also my grandmother passed away on June 9th. She got really sick. She had fever. She didn't eat for several days, and she never called anybody to let us know that she was sick until one of my aunts, she went to visit her, and she found out that she had fever and that my grandma was not eating. So my aunt took her home to her house, and so she took care of my grandma. We went to visit her. She ended up going to the hospital because she would take medicine and then the fever would go away, but then a few hours later it would come back. And so they took her to the hospital, and the doctors say that she had a virus, but they couldn't figure out what type of virus she had. She was 81. And so they never figured out what was going on with her body. She just had like high fever. It would calm down and then it would come back again. And she was like that for like a whole week. And during that whole week, they were only able to control her sugar. She didn't have diabetes, but sometimes she would have high sugar. And then they did like a scan of her lungs, and then they discovered that she had water in her lungs. I don't know how in the world that happened. So after they discovered that she had water in the lungs, like on a Sunday, she couldn't breathe, and they were going to put her on a tube so she can breathe easily. And so my mom called me on Monday. She went to visit my grandma, and then my mom called me on Monday, and she told me if I can take her on Tuesday to make sure, like to see how she was doing. So then on a Tuesday morning when I was gonna go visit her, my mom called me like at 6 in the morning, and she told me that my grandma passed away. Like, she said that my grandma she left. I'm like, what do you mean she left? And she's like, yes, she left. And I was like, she left to another hospital. Because my cousin were talking about like transferring to a different hospital. Here in Houston, they took her to the LBJ hospital, which is like in the Fifth Ward area. And my cousins wanted to take her out of that hospital to the medical center in downtown, which they have a lot of hospitals. But the doctors told us that if we took my grandma out of that hospital, the LBJ, to a different one, that she was at higher risk of dying. So they didn't end up doing that. But at the end, I mean, she passed away. And I felt really, really guilty because that Saturday I was supposed to go to the hospital, but I didn't because I wanted to go fishing with my husband and his father. I mean, my mom got to visit her that Saturday, but I didn't. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna go on Tuesday. But our life is never promised. We never know when it's gonna be our last day. And I think that's the only thing that I regret, that I didn't go visit my grandma on a Saturday. And so she passed away on a Tuesday morning. We went to the hospital and I wanted answers. Like, I wanted to know what happened. Like, I thought she was fine because they were already talking to my aunts who was gonna take care of her when she left the hospital. So it was just sudden. All of a sudden she couldn't breathe, and then she just passed away. And then we had the funeral, and I saw all my uncles and aunts and cousins I haven't seen so many years because I was living in Austin. And it was a pretty experience meeting everybody, again, and talking to them. And it's just really sad how it's just family it's like a meeting point when your grandma is sick. It's like a meeting point for everybody to come together, which is going to be one of the last times that everybody's gonna come together. And after she's buried down the ground, it's like everybody's gonna go their own separate ways, which it happened. Everybody just went their separate ways. We try to get phone numbers from my uncles and to just keep in touch with them. And I am just really, really impressed how strong my mom is. She's very, very strong lady, and she cried, and I cried with her, and it was just really, really sad situation. And I just hope that I just ask God to like give me the same strength that you gave my mom, because I don't know what I will do like if my mom passes away. It's just a really scary experience. But I was really, really thankful. It's like God put I believe in God, and it seems like God puts everything together to come together, because I can't imagine me being living, like me staying in Austin and living in Austin, then suddenly my mom calls me and she's like, you know, your grandma passed away. Like, can you imagine if I was living 3 hours away working? Like, am I gonna ask my employer to give me like a 2 weeks off for me to go visit my mom in Houston? It would have been really, really hard on me knowing that I can't be with my mom. I can't be close to her. I can't go visit her. Like, I felt helpless. Like, whenever I heard that my grandma passed away, I felt helpless. I didn't know what to do, even though I was like 30 minutes away from her. I felt like I wasn't there soon enough just to like be next to her. And I feel that like somehow God puts everything together, that he, I don't know, like how I made the decision of coming back from Austin to Houston, even though I really, really, really love what I was doing in Austin. I was working as a paralegal for an immigration company. I really, really, I'm passionate about helping people with their immigration matter, and it was just really hard for me to decide to move back to Houston, and I left the job that I really, really love. But there's always a reason why, and this past few weeks and months, well, July and June, every other day, like I spend a day with my mom. We go shopping, we come to my house, we start, you know, cooking, talking, chit-chatting. We went to Mexico, we saw our brothers, my brothers, I mean. She saw her sons. It's just been a beautiful experience being with her for like so many days. Almost every day we see each other. We go shopping. She goes to Dollar Tree with me. And it's just, I just can't get enough, because I mean, it's a really, really sad experience losing somebody. And I just want to make sure that if something does happen to my mom, like, I want to make sure that I've done everything on like my power to be close to her and to let her know that, you know, she's a great mom and everything. And it's just been really, really hard. And I just want her to know that, like, I'm always going to be there for her. I'm going to help her. And now that I'm going to start working full-time with my husband, I kind of feel bad that I'm going to leave her. I'm not going to go visit her as often. And my hours are going to be from 7 to 3 p.m. Hours are going to be from 7 in the morning to 3 p.m. So maybe that's going to give me more time to go visit her, maybe after work. Because I really want to keep visiting her, and for her to know that I'm always going to be there for her. And maybe that's the reason why I want to have a baby. Because the same way that I took care of my mom at the funeral, like, I want to make sure that my daughter takes care of me. I want to have a support. And even though I know I'm going to have my husband's support, you want to have a family. You want to have that person that cares about you, you know, your children. And maybe that's the reason why I really want to start a family, because I wasn't used to be like this. I used to be, you know, even though I'm still worried about how much it's gonna hurt, at least, like, I want to have my family. I want to see them. I want my mom to be able to see her grandchildren, and also my dad. It's just been a different experience now. I remember when I told my dad that I didn't want her to go to the funeral because it was something different. It was my first funeral, and I guess I was just scared to see the person laying there. And my dad told me that it was an important thing to go to a funeral, because you will know, you will see that life is not, like, you never know when you're gonna pass away. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't know if I didn't have the faith that I have, like how bad I will feel knowing that people die and then just see them there in a coffin. So I'm really thankful that I have my faith that have kept me strong. And but there's not a day that passed by that I don't thank God for another day. Another day that has allowed me to be next to my mom and my family, my dad and my husband. And now I'm like really anxious, just try to have a baby and just be happy and give a grandkid to my mom. So it was a really hard month of June, and I hope that something like this doesn't happen again, even though that's life. I just want to make sure that if it happens again, like I have somebody to be there with me, like a kid or my children. It's kind of weird thinking about this because it's like people might say, you know, you don't have to worry about that. If that comes, you know, just worry about it when it comes. But you have to think about those things. Thank you guys. Bye bye.